We spoke about Man United yet, Anton.
I was actually just about to say that's why he forgot the number.
Yeah, it was
because he mentioned
He's
Man
panicking.
United. That's the reason. It's got to be.
You got him ahead. Listen, I commentated the game for talkSPORT 2 on Thursday. I thought they were really poor in the second half against Real Sociedad. It was desperation stakes, wasn't it? Chucking on Harry Maguire to play as a centre forward.
Yeah.
That wasn't
strange.
That wasn't the tactical mastery that I was hoping for and expecting when they appointed Erik Ten Hag. Listen, he's done well to this point, so maybe much to the disappointment of our social media team, I'm not going to overreact to defeat against Aston Villa. It's a setback. I think it's a significant one because you look at the calibre of opponent they're up against in terms of trying to get in the top four. You can't really afford to be going away from home and losing to Aston Villa. I was surprised by the team selection to see Donny van der Beek out there again. He was so bad in that Europa League game on Thursday. Looks absolutely devoid of confidence. And I think there comes a time when you have to cut your losses on a player. It's not going to happen for Donny van der Beek at Manchester United. It's probably not going to happen for Donny van der Beek in the Premier League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't fancy him. Ralph Rangnick didn't fancy him. He went to Everton. Frank Lampard didn't fancy him. And Erik Ten Hag, even though he did really well for him at Ajax, he clearly doesn't fancy him. So something isn't right there. I think Garnacho scored a great goal on Thursday, but it's too soon for him to be starting regularly in the Premier League. Ronaldo looked a shadow of his former self. And they brought on Elanga in the second half. Now, with the greatest respect in the world, Elanga should be on loan at Birmingham or somewhere in the Championship. He should not be coming off the bench for a Manchester United side who want to get in the top four. So I think the squad depth was exposed today. Now, Antony, again, they missed him. Martial still feeling his way back to fitness. Rashford was put out on the wing and didn't do particularly well. So I do think he got his team selection wrong. And I think it's a disappointing defeat, but it just shows that Manchester United are far from the finished article. And you were trying to cajole me last week into saying they could finish in the top two.
Try it, and you did.
I might retract that now, but it wasn't good, was it? And in fact, let's hear from Erik Ten Hag, and he admitted that Manchester United's performance was well below what he expects.
We are really disappointed. We lose the game in the first half, start second half. I don't know if it's about tactic. Obviously, we make mistakes. We didn't follow the rules we didn't operate it in the right construction, organization in the start, but also we didn't know how they come out. But then you have to stick to the rules. In possession, keep the ball, and out of possession, win your battles. And that is what we didn't do. And then you are really quick, you are down.
Yeah, it was a lightning quick start from Aston Villa, but United should have expected that, shouldn't they, at home with a new manager in the dugout, and they just didn't cope with Villa early on.
Yeah, of course. Look, before we talk about Manchester United and myself, talk about Manchester United, Unai Emery and Aston Villa, well done. That was absolutely brilliant. And I think I gave Aston Villa players a bit of grief the other day when Steven Gerrard got sacked, and I said they'd let him down, and I got debunked by a few Aston Villa supporters. But well played. Unai Emery, I'm delighted to see him back in the Premier League. And Aston Villa showed today why they're a good side and why they were struggling down at the bottom of the league, and why they were so disappointed to be down at the bottom of the league. They showed today they're a fantastic football team. No matter how Manchester United played, I'm delighted for Unai Emery to be back in there and get a win, first game in charge as well. So well done, Aston Villa. But
well, I'm pleased you were happy.
Yep, but Manchester United, yeah, look, last week we did have a little bit of banter trying to get you to say you'll finish second. You did, but this is football. This is what football supporters do. This is what football brings you to, Anton. You're playing well and you think everything's brilliant and you're going to finish top of the league, etc. And when you're not, it's all doom and gloom. It was a poor performance from Manchester United. You've said everything in terms of the team selection, Crookie, so I can't go against that. In terms of what I will, and I'm sure you will, Anton, is Van der Beek. I think that he's not been treated well by a few managers. There could be reasons.
Rubbish.
There could be reasons
rubbish
for that. But the confidence of him must be so low, Anton. Like, I've been there when I've been dropped and not played for managers, and then you come in, you're trying to impress, you're trying to do something to stay in the team, and it's just not working for him at the moment.
No, definitely. I think you got to remember he when he was at Ajax, he got bought because he was a top player.
Farmers League.
And playing for Holland. It was based on playing for Holland as well. It weren't just Ajax. And by the way, we based it on Champions League football. He was a joke in the Champions League. That's what he was bought based on, that. Not playing in the league in Holland. It was based on what he done in the Champions League. To then now, all of a sudden, like you're saying, he's rubbish. Yeah, I can't.
I'm just telling you what I've seen with my own eyes.
No, I get that.
Performance
I
on
get
Thursday was one of the worst performances that I've ever seen from a professional footballer.
I get that, but when football for a football player, I'm talking 60, it's as high as 60% is based on confidence.
Yeah.
But you have to take ownership, don't you?
No, 100%. I'm not taking the blame away from Van der Beek. Sorry, he's got to go on the pitch and he's got to deliver. Get it, understand it. But when you are when you're always subject to managers not wanting you, managers not liking you, not giving you an opportunity. This is about opportunity. It's not always about if the manager likes you or not. He might actually be able to deal with that, but not being given the opportunity on a regular basis, like given a run in the team. He's never been given a run in the team. You need a run in the team to actually show if you've got a bit or not. Mm-hmm. And he's never been given that.
But okay, listen, I know 2 games isn't a run in the team, but surely he had to find something Thursday night or today to stand up and be noticed and say, actually, I deserve a place in this team. He hasn't done that with his performances.
That I can agree with. I can agree with that 100%. But what I'm saying to you is, for a player, we're talking as high as 60% is confidence. Yes, when you get the opportunity, you have to just go, do you know what, I'm just going to do this and try and hit the ground running. That's a fact. You have to. So I'm not taking the blame away from Van der Beek. That he should be able to go, you know what, okay, I'm going to hit the ground running. I'm going to turn around and show people how good I am.
But there's more to it, Darren Ambrose, isn't there? Because when Ten Hag came in, I think everybody assumed that actually this was a fresh start for Donny van der Beek. This is a manager that knows how to get the best out of him. He will play.
That must have kicked him down even more than that he ain't.
Apparently he had a terrible pre-season, didn't play well in the friendlies, and it's taken a long time for him to work his way into the team. And listen, he's only there because the squad is stretched at the moment. I just don't see he's got a future.
And he knows that. And that's the issue. And Anton's right. 60%, 65%. It's the mental side of it, and it's confidence and knowing you're a good player. That's been knocked out of him a lot in recent years. Look, and again,
But don't you want to prove a point if people have doubted you?
You do, but you know how hard that is to go in knowing that you're not the main man, knowing you have to do something to impress, to try and stay in the team. You have to try.